And the crew was awakened at about 7:17 a.m. Central Time this morning, 6:17 p.m. over in Baikonur, which is about 9 hours prior to the launch. And then they participated in all of the final pre-launch activities. Before departing for the launch pad, all three observed the very long-standing tradition of autographing the doors at the Cosmonaut Hotel in Baikonur, Kazakhstan. You can see each one taking the turn here. You can see a number of different international partner astronauts with signatures across the door. Again, they sign their names, write their flight, and sign the date as well. And they do this every single time before a flight. So Acaba will have two signatures now on these doors, as will Misurkin, and this the first time for Vande Hei. And then before departing the Cosmonaut Hotel, they get a blessing from a Russian Orthodox priest, who also the day before goes out and blesses the rocket on the pad.
Now the main folks will go. What about the backup crew?
And you can see the backup crew in the background there. Two NASA astronauts, Scott Tingle and Shannon Walker, and Russian cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov. And at about 10:17 a.m. this morning here in Houston, or 9:17 at night over in Baikonur, they departed the Cosmonaut Hotel to board a bus to ride out to the integration and suit-up facility at Building 254 on the Baikonur Cosmodrome. You can see the crew walk out here, getting a chance to wave to all the folks gathered there to watch the day's launch, including members of the media, but also family members, friends, and program guests from both NASA and the Russian Space Agency, Roscosmos.
Thank you. Bye, Dad.
And again, the first step in their journey was to depart the Cosmonaut Hotel, and then they arrived at Building 254, the integration and suit-up facility, at about 10:02 p.m. at nighttime over in Baikonur. Once there, each of the crew member undergoes final medical exams and then gets suited up in their Sokol launch and entry suits. These are the white pressurized suits that you can see Misurkin getting into first, that they wear throughout all of the activities, the launch, the docking, all the dynamic aspects of the flight of this Soyuz vehicle. And again, each of these suits able to be pressurized throughout the flight, so just in the instance of a loss of cabin pressure, they have the suits as that backup capability to keep the astronauts safe. A team of specialists from Roscosmos and Energia responsible for suiting up each of the crew members. Again, this happening right after their final medical checkups. All of the crew members kept in quarantine for about 2 weeks or so, just before the flight, just to help ensure that they're as healthy as possible before this flight into that very enclosed environment of the space station. But following this, they'll move into another room to get pressure checks on all of these suits. But the suit up definitely the first step once they're at this integration facility.
Okay, for photographers, 2 minutes together. And look here.
And again, now they come into this room where one by one they load into a mock-up of an actual seat inside the Soyuz vehicle, and their suits are pressurized up to their flight pressure. This just to ensure all the seals, everything, good integrity on the suits themselves. And you can see the mock-up of the Soyuz seat there. The actual liner for each one of these seats is custom molded inside the actual spacecraft to the astronauts. This to ensure that they have as tight of a fit, primarily for the actual landing phase of the Soyuz, when it's a little bit more jarring. And that tightly molded seat for each of the crew members helps to keep them very much in place and help minimize any potential injury, anything like that. But again, you'll see the suits puff up a little bit as they get pressurized. One by one, Misurkin going first, Vande Hei second, and Acaba third. And then we should see shortly, as this camera is looking through a pane of glass, on the other side of this glass, family, friends, and program officials from NASA and Roscosmos gathered, as you can see here, to watch them during these final suit-ups and get one final chance to speak to the crew members before they head over to the rocket.
That's a good picture. Very good picture. And now video. So this one is for Grandma. And as a producer, trust me, I know how to do this. Well, let Grandma sit. You can take pictures on the side. Let Grandma sit down.
No, it just closes up as soon as like it seals it shut and opens it. It determines the differential pressure between the suit and inside.
What's the first thing you're going to eat when you get there?
Good question. Whatever they give me. I think the crew that's up there is waiting for our arrival. It's kind of helped set up our living accommodations and our first meal and stuff like that. No. You know, like the indication of the training is really good because so far it feels like everything we've done in training.
Not for the minute 17.
Not for the minute.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Grandma wants to know why you have two brushes.
Pasta filled with meat and big dumpling.
A big dumpling. No shots though, right? You're driving.
And everybody in the world's listening. Teach me that one.
I forgot to ask you, you got any EVA scheduled?
What is that?
EVAs.
Well, we have 3 coming up in October-ish time frame, and so we're looking at the, who's who, but yeah, we have 3 coming up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grandma said
Tell the rebuild. You got 6 months.
That would be awesome. Go back for spring break.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm down with that.
I'm working.
Oh, je vais bien.
Swimming with the fishes.
Oh, look at this. Oh.
You guys will leave that people
I
talk to
can
the
neither
manager
confirm
for a
nor
bit.
deny the presence of any company.
We'll be back by 5.
You can be there by 4.
Yeah.
It's prime time. I think they were there.
And then after the families had a chance to speak, several program officials from both Roscosmos and NASA having the opportunity to speak to the crew members as well.
We're here. We got you. Call me, write me. Have a good time up there. And best of luck. We wish you good flight and successful return. And let everything go well with no issues.
Spaceflight, human spaceflight's a team sport, and unfortunately there's not enough room in the Soyuz for your entire team, but no, the rest of your team is here on the planet, ready to support you and ready to take care of you. So you guys have a great time on orbit, and know we're here on the planet ready to work with you.
We'll be carrying the whole team in our hearts.
Thank you so much.
Have a great expedition. There's plenty of fun things for you on orbit. Enjoy your time on station and take good care of the station for us.
We will.
Звучат фанфары в исполнении Лончакова. Поэтому
And I can't follow Lonchikov's speech. All I can say is have a safe flight, good luck, do quality work, and of course, as always, we will be glad to see you, to greet you back here on Earth. All the best to you. Again, congratulate you. Congratulations for the work that you're about to do. You will work, you're going to work well, you're going to work hard, be safe in this flight. And the work on the station is in your hands, and we look forward to hearing you back on the Earth.
And after speaking to those officials, which the two NASA ones we heard from were Kirk Shireman first, who's the Space Station Program Manager, and William Gersemeyer, the Associate Administrator for Human Exploration and Operations, the crew members were ready to walk out. And getting a chance to wave one final time before boarding their bus, which they boarded at about 1:17 p.m. Central Time, midnight 17 over in Baikonur. Crew is ready to depart building 254 and ride over to launch pad number 1. The drive typically takes about 25 minutes, so they arrive at the pad at about 1:42 p.m. Central, 12:42 a.m. in Baikonur, and then getting ready to get down the bus again, assisted by various members of Russian Cosmos and NASA. The one just helping the astronauts off there is former Russian cosmonaut Yuri Malenchenko, who's accumulated more time in space than just about everybody else in the history of both space programs.
The crew of the manned transport vehicle Soyuz, we are reporting for duty. The rocket is ready to welcome you.
Tradition, taking a moment to turn around and wave one last time before making their way to the elevator and on up into the Soyuz spacecraft. Just behind them, billowing oxygen was fueled just about 3 hours prior to the planned liftoff time. And these crew members, after they headed up the elevator into the spacecraft, were strapped in, and they've been on board now for almost 2 hours. We got Misurkin, Acaba, and Vande Hei suited up inside the spacecraft and ready for launch.
скорость блокируется 50. Есть дополнительная смазка для отвода. Есть смазка 30.
Докладывай, принял.
Пуск. Пуск. Бортовое питание. Зажигание кислорода. Предварительно. Промежуточная. Главное, подъем. Нашел контакт, подъем, двигатель, центрального маневра, контура, независимого района, лишь параметры системы управления ракетоносителя в норме. 20. Двигатели первой и второй ступени работают нормально. 25. 30. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 40. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 50. Давление в камерах двигателей в норме. 60. Ангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 70. Полет нормальный. 80. Параметры системы управления ракетоносителя в норме. 90. Двигатели первой и второй ступени работают нормально. 100. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 110. Ангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 1. Есть сброс ДУСа, 120. Есть выключение двигателей боковых блоков. Есть отделение боковых блоков. 130. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 140. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 150. Двигатель второй ступени работает нормально. 160. Есть раствор головного обтекателя. 170. Параметры системы управления ракетоносителя в норме. 180. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 190. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 200. Двигатель второй ступени работает нормально. 210. Параметры системы управления ракетоносителя в норме. 220. Полет нормальный. Время КП 3 часа 17 минут 2 секунды 407 миллисекунды. 230. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 240. Двигатель второй ступени работает нормально. 250. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 260. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. Параметры системы управления ракетоносителя в норме. 280. Прошел гарантийный надув бака окислителя третьей ступени. 290. Есть запуск двигателя третьей ступени. Есть выключение двигателя второй ступени. Есть отделение второй ступени. 300. Есть сброс панели хвостового отсека. 310. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 320. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 330. Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 340. Параметры системы управления в норме. 350. Полет нормальный. 360. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 370. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 380. Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 390. Параметры системы управления ракетоносителя в норме. 400. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 410. Полет нормальный. 420. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 430. Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 440. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 450. Полет нормальный. 460. Параметры конструкции ракетоносителя в норме. 470. Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 480. Параметры системы управления в норме. 490. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 500. Полет нормальный. 510. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 520. Параметры системы управления в норме. 1030. Есть выключение двигателя третьей ступени. Есть отделение транспортного пилотируемого корабля «Союз MS-06» номер 734. Транспортный пилотируемый корабль «Союз MS-06» выведен на орбиту искусственного спутника Земли. Репортаж окончен.
1150 is the range, and the rate 4.1. The S1 is nominal 71001. Copy.
And
Fly around. We confirm.
confirmation that fly around has begun. So the Soyuz a little under 400 meters away from the station, executing this fly around maneuver. And this again just going to be some firing of the engines to swing the vehicle up over to the top side, just to align it with that Poisk docking module, which is again is on the space facing side, so essentially the top of the International Space Station. Soyuz going to swing its way up there, look right back down at Poisk and at the Earth itself, and then line itself up for docking, which is about 22.5 minutes away from the scheduled time. Everything going very smoothly with this vehicle. The automated rendezvous not tracking any issues. The Soyuz craft continuing its flight. 3 crew members almost at the International Space Station. So another view from one of the cameras on the outside of the International Space Station. This one does carry a bit of a yellow hue to it due to some issues with the color sensor. So this not in real color, but you can see the Soyuz continuing to fly around. It's almost at the done of it. It's almost complete with this fly around state. It's a little under 200 meters away from the station right now. Should be starting station keeping in about a minute or so.
Copy. We are receiving the image right now. Copy. Moscow, 67 meters is the range. The rate is 0.1717, and the value S is nominal. Copy. $50 meters is the range. The diameter of the docking port is 1 square and a half, and the rate is 0.18.
So less than 50 meters to go. Again, it's going to continue to slow down. Currently at about 0.17 meters per second. Going to go all the way down to about 1/10 of a meter per second. Again, the Soyuz flying automatically, that Kurs rendezvous system driving the vehicle towards that docking port. Should just be a few minutes away from that initial contact and capture.
0.17.
The docking probe on the top of the Soyuz will retract to draw it into the docking port on Poisk. And then once that's all complete, they'll be able to begin what's essentially the hard mate, where a series of hooks will drive on both the Soyuz and the docking port to really securely hold the vehicle in place, where it's going to remain for the next 5 months. So under 40 meters away, continuing this final approach, 3 new crew members almost at their new home on the International Space Station.
37 meters is the range. The rate is 0.12. The target is in the center of the periscope. Copy. Altair.
And you can see some shadows beginning to crop up on the vehicle. The sun actually about to set on the International Space Station while it's flying over the southern Pacific Ocean right now.
Proceed, please, with the reports. The diameter of the docking port is 2 squares, 30 meters, 0.14 is the rate. The target is in the center of the periscope. Copy. Two and a half squares is the diameter of the docking port. The target is half of the square to the right of the crosshairs. Copy. The range is 26 meters. The rate 0.1. The target is half a square to the right of the crosshairs of the periscope. We have Pazer. SSVP is ready.
They're just about 24 meters away now. So he's charting a very slow and steady path towards the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the space station.
The diameter of the docking port is 3 squares. The range is 20 meters. The target is at the center, and the crosshairs are aligned. Copy. So the target width is 1 square. The target is in the center of the periscope. Copy. We are receiving very stable image on the ground. There is a little discrepancy in roll. So the rate is 0.1. So the crosses are aligned. The target is in the center of the VSK periscope. Copy. We are at page 66 of the ODF. Confirm. Fifteen meters is the range. 0.12 is the rate. The crosses are aligned. The target is in the center. Copy. We confirm. So the range is 10 meters. The rate is 0.12, and a square and a half is the target. The target is in the center of the periscope. The crosshairs are aligned. Copy. 2.5 squares is the length. The target is in the middle.
Single digits, just 9 meters away. Very close now to docking. We'll get you an exact time, but very close now for the Soyuz docking to the Poisk module.
So the target length is 3 squares.
Standing by for contact and capture.
We're standing by for the contact, Moscow. Contact. We have mechanical contact, and we have docking mechanism engaged. Great. Copy.
And you heard it. Contact and capture. Docking confirmed. 9:55 p.m. Central Time, 10:55 p.m. Eastern Time, while the International Space Station flew about 255 statute miles over the southern Pacific Ocean, just to the west of Chile. And there it is. The hatch open, 12:08 a.m. Central Time. 1:08 a.m. Eastern Time, while the station flew just 255 statute miles over Serbia. And first one through the door, Aleksandr Misurkin, the Soyuz commander for all of the events today. This again, his second trip into space, second stay on board the International Space Station. Just behind him, NASA astronaut Joe Acaba making his third flight into space and his second time as a long-duration crew member on board the station. And bringing up the rear, the first-timer Mark Vande Hei on his first space flight, making his way into the International Space Station for the very first time. All right, and with that, the crew of Expedition 53 back at a full 6-person, and now the crew's going to make their way over to the Russian service module. And once they're all set up, we'll get these voice calls started, and they'll be able to speak to the folks back over in Baikonur.
Now we see you. Excellent. Wonderful. We are glad and we are ready. Okay, we are also very glad. We are passing the comm to Baikonur.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston Station, we are ready for the Expedition 53 Welcome Aboard ceremony.
Baikonur, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Rob Navius with your colleagues, families, and friends in Baikonur. How do you hear me?
Rob, we've got you loud and clear.
You all look great up there, and we'll start the event.
Папулька, привет. Daddy, hello.
Доченька, привет, родненькая моя.
Hi, my dear. How are you?
Привет.
Hey there.
Нет, не замерзли.
We're not cold, we're good.
У вас там хорошо, тепло?
Is it warm over there?
Ты видишь, у нас дружеская тесная компания.
Well, you see, we're all cozy here.
Родной, привет, родной мой.
Hi, my dear one, I love you.
Хорошо, даже от...
You look wonderful, even excellent.
Так держать.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you. I love you. Here. Just talk. Talk.
Сашенька, родной.
Sasha, my dear.
Как ты там себя чувствуешь, как перенес?
How do you feel up there? How did you survive through it? Grandma, everything was excellent. Look at the screw. Things couldn't be any better.
Я очень рада.
I am very glad.
Всего тебе доброго.
All the best to you. To you and to the rest of the crew. Thank you, Grandma, and to you also.
Mark, this is Jules.
Oh, hey, I was expecting to hear some more Russian. What did you just say?
What a beautiful launch. So proud of you and your team.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if anybody heard, but when we were supposed to be quiet and operational and we got close to the station and I saw the solar arrays out the windows, I went, wow! And then, is everything okay? The Mission Control Center asked if everything was okay.
We didn't know otherwise, so it was all good. But I'm so proud of you. I mean,
it was just that
really
amazing.
Hard work. So, yes,
Thank
all
you very
of us
much. It's amazing
were
to be
just
here.
filled with
It's
joy.
really amazing.
So happy you're on there. Love you, honey.
It's an amazing place. Love you too, wonderful lady.
Hi, Mark. It's Gabe. How's it going up there?
It's going great. I'm probably everybody else here is experienced. So I'm the person that they're actually like moving around for me so that they can make sure I'm in the right place and not floating away.
So the experience is good, but the floating is subpar, would you say?
My ability to float right now is subpar. I'd say controlling the float is poor. I'm going to learn quick, though.
So now that you're actually up there, what's your bet on how many air bubbles you can put into a water bubble?
No idea. Yeah, no idea. I'll just demonstrate it and we'll figure it out.
Hey, Dad, this is Lauren.
Hey, Lauren, how are you?
Good. Good. How was your launch? I mean, it was really cool watching it, but how did it feel from up there?
It was amazing. I mean, it was a very smooth ride, and everything was. We were so well trained that I just was impressed at how well everything worked. And I saw the moon out the window. That's the first thing I saw, and then coming up to the station was just absolutely incredible.
Awesome. Love you.
Love you too.
Hola, Joseph. ¿Es tu padre? Si es posible, ¿puedes saludar a tu mamá y el resto de tu familia en California?
Hey, Pops, it's good to hear your voice, and of course, hello, Mom, Grandma, and everybody there in California who's watching. Thanks for the support. The launch was awesome, so we're doing great up here.
Hey, Joe, it's Ralph. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that launch was great, and after we got back to the after we got back to the hotel, your family and friends gathered for a celebratory toast, and each person told a Joe story, so I learned even more about you in the last 24 hours.
Well, with that information, I'm very happy I'm off the planet. Those are stories I don't want to hear, so hopefully what happens in Baikonur will stay in Baikonur.
Roger that. And one more thing, Stephen did end the celebration with a serenade to the song that you suggested, so that was great.
I'm sure it was lovely, and glad the pack could make it, and you guys had a great time, and I'm sure that rendition was fabulous.
Hi, Mark. It's Mom. Just want to tell you how much we love you and how you've got support from people all over this country, and just love you, and I hope you feel it all.
I could definitely feel it. The prayers really helped, and thank you very much. Dad, I think you started talking to me while I was talking. Go ahead, say it again.
Mark, can you hear me?
I can.
We're really excited about being here to see you like this. Yes, you can hear me now. We're watching you on TV, and I'm delayed by the delay. So I'll stop watching and just talk to you. It's a real exciting time for us. We're speechless. At least I am. We love you, and take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Looking forward to seeing you again, but in the meantime, I'm going to really enjoy this.
Hey, Joe, it's Liz. I wanted to say that we're really proud of all of you. Thank you for all that you do for us. And we enjoyed the music for the takeoff, launch.
Hey, thanks, Liz. I'm really glad you could make it out. It was cool to share it with you, and yeah, I look forward to seeing the video of the launch from your perspective sometime. So, thanks again. Hope you guys have safe travels back home, and tell the boys I said hello.
And for the crew, this is Rob Navius back in Baikonur. We've lost KU, so we're going to wrap up the event. Thanks so much. All the best. Fly safe, and we'll see you soon up there.
and I'll turn it back to Capcom at Mission Control in Houston.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, everybody that came, and see you in Houston.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.